I want a new camera, and they're not cheap. So instead of saving like a responsible adult, I've decided to see if I can repair broken laptops and sell them for more than I paid. The plan? Buy broken laptops, fix them, trade them into CEX for store credit, turn that credit into a camera. Now, I'm not a PC technician. I don't work in IT. I just own a screwdriver and make questionable decisions on eBay. This all started when I was staring at my stack of old unused laptops, thinking I should probably thin this out. And then I remembered recently I'd repaired a 2015 MacBook Air. I bought it listed as spares and repairs for £15. Spent £22 on parts, £37 all in. Not too bad. So then I thought I'd check how much CEX would buy it for, and I was pleasantly surprised. Broken laptops might actually help me fund a new camera. To get the ball rolling, I bought not one, but two 2015 MacBook Pros, and at the time I thought clearly an excellent financial decision. First one, £24.22. The second one, £39.76. Both sold as spares and repairs. One needed a new screen. I opened them up, had a poke around, and very quickly realised I was completely out of my depth. These needed micro soldering, and that's something I'm just not up to yet. So, game over. Except, they both came with SSDs. One had a 1TB, and the other had a 256GB. So, selling these will cover the cost of what I bought them for. And technically, we'll call this a draw. Not a win, not a loss, just emotional damage. Right, at this point I've written off Macs. Let's try something sensible. ThinkPads. The plan was simple. Buy either stupidly cheap or obviously damaged ones. Things I could actually fix without a microscope and a degree in electrical engineering. I bought a T490 for £49.99, which needed a new screen. And then I found a replacement screen for £25. Swapped it over, which wasn't too hard at all. Powered it on. And success. Fully working T490 ThinkPad. Or so I thought. Turns out, it's BIOS locked, which wasn't mentioned anywhere on the eBay listing. So I hopped onto eBay and messaged the seller, and to be fair, they refunded me £25. So effectively, this laptop cost me £50 for a BIOS locked T490, which I don't think is great. And this one's going on eBay. Undeterred, because apparently I'm a slow learner, I bought another T490, except this time it was £34, which I thought fell into the super cheap category. And it just worked. A little bit battered. And at this point, I'm very suspicious, because it was sold as spares and repairs. And then I checked. Locked again. 2 for 2. 2 perfectly working BIOS locked ThinkPads. At this point, I cloned the Windows install from the SSD to the other one, and called it Sideways Progress. Editing Joe here. I'm going to keep the battered one actually and put Kali Linux on it, or Dragon OS Linux, and I'm going to keep it up for further projects, so we'll call that neutral, because I'm keeping it. And at this point I'm starting to realise this isn't going to plan, so I'm going to lower my expectations. If I could make £250 to £300 to take the sting out of spending £1,000 on a camera, I'll be happy. And at this low point, it hit me. The 2015 MacBook Air is the Goldilocks zone. Cheap to buy broken. No micro soldering nightmares if I'm lucky. So I doubled down. I bought 4 more. First one worked perfectly. No idea why it was listed as spares and repairs. Second one, same story. It just worked. And I'm not complaining, I'm just a bit confused. And the third one had a broken keyboard, which is a relatively easy fix. So I found a replacement palm rest on eBay for £10, swapped it over, tested it, fully working. The fourth one was a bit more serious, as it had a dead logic board. I bought it as spares and repairs, so I can't really complain. I bought a replacement logic board, swapped it in, powered it on. Success. Except it had a dead battery as well. this one was turning out to be a bit of a lemon. So I checked the other 4 MacBook Airs for their batteries, and it turned out another one would only run when plugged in. I checked the amp drawer, and it wasn't pulling enough to charge properly. I went on to order 2 new batteries. Fitted the first one, and it did that thing where it stays completely dead just long enough to make you question what the f you're doing. Then it sprang into life with a Mac chime. And with the second battery, I opened up the other laptop, ready to replace the battery. It's not hooked up. Only to realise I'd forgotten to plug the original battery in. So now I own a spare MacBook Air battery. Brilliant. And the 2 mystery working ones still had the previous account owners on them. So I wiped them, reinstalled macOS, and made sure they were all clean and ready to go. And just like that, I now own 5 2015 MacBook Airs. Slightly different specs across the board, but at this point, all working. And now with my bundle of MacBooks all primed, it's time to go off to CEX and see what I can actually get for these. Also worth mentioning, with my lowered goal, I'm going to donate some of my own laptops to the cause. First up, my beloved T480, which until recently was running Arch. Lately, the T480 has become a bit of a cult classic in the Linux world. And I'm not selling it because it's bad, it's really a fantastic platform for a Linux distro. I'm selling it because I simply don't use it. I've got a semi-decent desktop, and realistically, I only need a laptop for dossing about on the sofa with. Which is why I end up using this, my 2015 MacBook Pro. I fitted the new battery, installed Debian, and honestly, with the Retina display, it's a joy to use. So the T480, it's going. And then there's the T42, an absolute legend. But it's time. So no, I didn't buy these to flip, but they're going towards the camera fund. So currently, the camera fund is sitting at £225. Before heading to CEX, let's do a quick recap. So far, I've spent a total of £317.79 and made back £106.46, which means I'm still £212.32 out of pocket. But I also now have 5 working MacBook Airs, plus the £225. So to hit my revised goal of at least £250 profit, I need to get a minimum of £460.32 back from CEX, which means one thing. It's time now to find out whether this has been a clever way to help fund a camera, or just a very elaborate way to break even. Off to CEX I go. And briefly, if you don't know who CEX are, they're a UK chain that buy and sell used tech, games and other bits. And now we can look at the results. Here's the e-receipt from CEX. The first one, £88. The second one, £81. The third one, £100. The fourth one, £110. And finally, the fifth one, £110. That gives me a total of £489, which means I made £288 profit. Pretty pleased with that. And we can break this down a little bit further with the help of my spreadsheet. And here you can see the total cost of the laptops, not including the one that I'm keeping. Here's the total cost of the spare parts I've bought. And here's what I've sold each one for, along with the profits on each machine. So overall, no, it's not even close to the full £1,000 I wanted, but it's enough to take a decent chunk out of the cost of the camera I want to buy. And finally, we should address the elephant in the room. This is store credit at CEX, not cash. But I was planning on buying the camera from CEX anyway, because they offer a 5-year warranty. And after all that, I think I can safely say I've satisfied my curiosity about laptop flipping. I'm sure there are people out there far smarter than me making very good money doing this, but that's not me. And now I know that for certain. Flipping laptops is harder than you think. Thanks for watching. Joe.